What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, man, oh man, what a difference a day makes, as some say. Wow. Okay, there's a lot of stuff. I'm gonna try to do it from memory because I like to exercise my brain, and you gotta try to memorize the memories of the memorizations. Anyway, so a couple days ago, all these donkey unicorns, some freaking stock dude was talking smack about portfolios and how the Microsoft one didn't change. I can't poop in my toilet, my gold toilet, as Alex put it. Da 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 da. And I'm like, what's that got to do with like Microsoft doing good? You know, just because their stock hasn't made you money, that means it's stable. It hasn't gone up, you know, which is fine because it's not fine for you who's managing a hedge fund or whatever. And then there's a bunch of idiots online, ponies and donkey unicorns, who happen to work for media outlets or have access to such things, twisting and bending the narrative to essentially invoke some more Xbox taxes, basically. Anyway, that's the short gist of it. So that's not even the important part, because that's to set up basically what happened the next day. So they doing all this gloom and doom. Like, the reason why that came out, I believe, is that Microsoft announced, we're doing the developer directs coming up, boo boo boo. Then they said, let's pull up some thing from 2 or 3 years ago. It says Activision's not happy with something. Then Microsoft had to slap them through the internet and says, smack. No, that's not right. Y'all lying. Here's the numbers. We happy. We making that money. So bam, bam. So Microsoft stepped up and slapped the fools through the internet. I appreciate. Now, days later, Sony comes out and says, this happened late last night or yes. They canceled another 2 games from Bend Studio and from Bluepoint. And I guess Bluepoint was making a God of War gas game, a live service game, God of War live. Look, I don't know. They tried that before with God of War 4. What was it? I can't remember. Ascension? That was it, right? That was trash. Look, man. It's like they're not even aware of, I'm talking about donkey unicorns and ponies. They're not aware of the dire situation that Sony is in right now. Now, the reason why a giant corporation like Sony would cancel games and lose 4 to 5 years of work, 2 studios, 4 to 5 years of work, how many millions of dollars? That's hundreds of millions of dollars. Let's just say $300 million combined, right? So they're going to take a loss on that and they can write it off on their taxes. And so how it was put to me, how I understand it, is that they did the math and said, well, we could take this as a tax write-off, which would be more than what we would make, because I think Sony is scared of live service games because they have to have an infrastructure and they have to have servers running, and that costs money. And if they don't have the game, they don't have the players and the money coming in through microtransactions or whatever, I was gonna say student pass, battle passes and such, then it doesn't work. And they're afraid. They have no experience in it. Helldivers 2 is the first, and they happen to screw that up too. So it's like they suck. I said this before. They suck at live service. They suck at multiplayer games in general. None of their multiplayer games have survived. Only, I guess, Gran Turismo, if you want to count that one. But that's kind of grandfathered in. People, I don't know how well that's doing. They don't say anything about that game. And MLB The Show, but most people playing that, they're on Xbox. I heard that somewhere. I don't know if it's true or not, but it sounds like it's true because nobody buys games on PlayStation. There's all casuals there. So, it might be comparable, but I think more multiplayer-centric games and gamers are on Xbox. And the proof is in the numbers. And the numbers usually don't lie, but Sony lies about the numbers, meaning close to 70 million. They say 67 point something million, but that's not sell through. That's sell to the stores, which doesn't count because you didn't sell a system to a customer. So you don't have the monthly active users. Speaking of monthly active users, one thing that Donkey Unicorns and Ponies do not understand, and why Sony has lost. Sony is done. Sony is over. Sony's dead. PlayStation is dead. Not Sony particularly, because they got their movies and stuff, and they realize they got their movies and stuff, and they're trying to double down on their movies and stuff because the games ain't doing it. So they got to make it up somewhere else. I bet you their cameras are going to be more expensive too soon. So monthly active users. Every game that Xbox sells on PlayStation is a monthly active user for Xbox. So when they brag about, 82% Call of Duty sold on PlayStation. Well, that's 82% of players that are on the Xbox ecosystem. That is a monthly active user for an Xbox game. You see, when they measure those numbers, they don't measure them per comp. They don't measure them like, you're playing on an Xbox, that counts. Of course it counts, but that only counts. You can't count the phone. You can't count. No, they count everything. All the game. If they own the game, let's just use Call of Duty as an example. If they have Call of Duty, wherever you play Call of Duty counts as a monthly active user. And I don't. That's simple. Why don't the Donkey Unicorns and Ponies understand that? That's how the math works. And so they can say, we got 500 million active users up from whatever it was before. And PlayStation has 119 maybe. Because they're only counting PlayStation 4 and 5. Because that's all they can count. I mean, they can count Steam, maybe. I don't know. I don't think they have too many Steam players. Except for Helldivers 2. But it's not enough. And so, everything that I'm seeing, I'm looking at PlayStation and I'm like, how are they sitting here trying to brag, trying to bring up old stuff from 3-4 years ago, trying to get, do the Xbox tax on Microsoft and whatever, and then the next day, boom. And where's Porter Rock? Where's D-Batch talking shite? Where's Tim Dog? Huh? Where are all these fools talking shite? Huh? I had to respond to Tim Puppy. I can't remember what I said, but I said something because I'm just tired of you crying. I didn't say that, but I am tired of him crying. And so I have always said, like, the downfall of PlayStation was imminent, and we're seeing it live in person in real time. And the Donkey Unicorns, they don't see it. I mean, I see it because I'm not looking at Sony as a fanboy. I'm looking at them as a giant corporation who doesn't know they don't quite know what they're doing right now. They know how to make one thing, and that's single player movie games, right? They're good at that. I would assume they would be good at that because they have a movie studio, obviously. So they should be good at that, even though they're not really that good at making movies. I would say 90% of their movies are trash. To 10%, pretty good. It's only 10%, if that. Honestly, it's 2 movies, right? And it's the Spider-Verse movies, the animated joints. Everything else, like the Ghostbusters stuff, nope. I'm like, it's all right, but no, just because you bring back all of the remaining living cast doesn't mean it's not good. Anyway, they're canceled games. I never. Why would you? Who wants a God of War live service? I'm like, huh? And then another game was unannounced. The Ben Studio. It was I believe it was the original IP. Somebody said, based off of the open world of the. I'm like, whatever. You don't know. You're just plugging in some bullshit. So I'm like, and like, for them to cancel those, that means that they were worse than Concord. But here's the thing. Who is in charge of all these decisions? Is it Herman Holtz? Because if it is Herman Holtz, look, the more time that goes by, I don't know. Is Herman Holtz like a sleeper cell? Is he like a double agent? Does he actually work for Microsoft? And he's like, feels like, I think you need to do the thing over there, you know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, I've got you Philip. I don't know how he talk. Is he German or something? I don't remember Herman Holtz, what his accent's like, because I don't remember what. I don't think I've ever heard him speak. Actually, I think I heard him speak, but it was just like poor microphone, so I was like, blah, 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 like Tim Dog. So it seems like Jim Ryan and Herman Holtz are both like double agents for Microsoft. They're going in there, they're sabotaging, destroying PlayStation from the inside, and that's what's happening. I don't know. Maybe. And then Shuhei, I'm like, yo, it was like, yo, here's some news, here's some good, oh man, man, being an Xbox fan, looking at PlayStations, Shuhei, longtime PlayStation dude. I mean, he was in charge of first party for a long time during like when they were coming up. And then Sean Layden came through, and then they fired Sean Layden, and then they fired, Shuhei said, nah, y'all are stupid. I'm out. But Shuhei was on kind of funny. He was spilling the beans, son. He was like, yeah, who would have thunk that Horizon Forbidden West wouldn't sell as many as the first Horizon game or Spider-Man? Oh, no, wait, I said that wrong. I think he said Horizon Forbidden West sold more than Spider-Man 2. That's what he said. That's what he said. And then he said Horizon Forbidden West didn't sell as well as the first game. That's what it was, I think. Or the first Horizon sold better than Spider-Man. Something like that. Anyway, Spider-Man 2 didn't sell as many as... And I'm like, what? Huh? And Shuei's like, yeah, I wouldn't have done that. I would have just focused on the... He was spilling all the... And then when Craig Miller, whatever, I don't like him too much, but Greg Miller, excuse me. He asked him about PSVR 2. He's like, what? He's like, what happened with PSVR 2, Shu? What's happening? What's going on with PSVR 2? And Shuhei was like, let's not talk about that. Next question, or whatever he said. I was like, wow. That's how bad it is over at the stables. It's just like, wow. When your last old school dude is coming through talking about, I don't want to talk about it. So that's a sore spot for me. Man, that's crazy. And so I'm like, okay. So Shuhei's spilling the beans. He's giving us a little bit more insight on workings of Sony, and like another part which we heard about before, which was, he said, if you want these first party single player movie type games, you have to support the remakes and the remasters, because that's how they fund these other games. And I was like, wow, he's just telling all the secrets. Well, it's not a secret, but it's just like, it's like an insight into their business practices, how they look at business, or how desperate they are in that they can't afford to, they don't have enough success in their single player movie games for them to be self-sustaining. Like if a game came out, let's just say Spider-Man or Spider-Man 2. Oh, it sold, I don't know how many millions it sold, but it sold all these millions of copies and they're bragging about it, right? And I'm like, well, first of all, the pack-in physical, you have to split that 50-50 with Marvel. You got the percentages that you have to pay to Marvel is ridiculous. So you're not making any money off of that. You're not making enough money off of that game to actually fund another game, let alone another Spider-Man game. And so that's why they changed the whole, they're going to try to sell you three $50 sections of Spider-Man 3. Maybe that'll cover the cost. I don't know. But Disney's still getting their percentage, so they'll get more. They'll get $150 out of you as opposed to 80 or 70. But, I mean, that's more than double. So sure, maybe that'll help. I mean, I guess it would help. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, cancel. Where's the Pony Brigade? Where the Pony Brigade? Where they at? Where's Cavalry? Where they at? Talking to some, how they spinning this? You can't spin it. They're gonna talk about, Xbox third party. I'm like, yo, listen, I don't think you understand what's going on. PlayStation about to be third party faster than you realize because of what they're canceling so many games. I didn't even do if we try to figure, okay, so they just canceled those two. They canceled the Twisted Metal joint. Concord was effectively canceled. The Deviation Games was canceled. The Last of Us factions canceled. That's 6 already. There's got to be a couple more, right? Anyway, that's half of the original 12. They have Fair Game $, and there's one other game, right? They have a few more games to put out to hopefully do something. If you don't think they're in trouble, they're in trouble. And funding these games for 4, 5, 6 years, they could have made 2 bespoke original IP or sequels of single player bangers, and they would have been at the level quality of what they're expected of, and they would be still the same Sony that everybody loves. But right now they're looking foolish. They're looking spooky. I'm like, yo, why would I buy a PlayStation when y'all ain't got no games coming out? You're literally canceling any hope of games. You show us Intergalactic, everybody's like, I don't think I want that game. I don't like her. I don't want to play as her. You have to make characters that people want to like and play as, and y'all are missing that. The game might be great, but that character ain't great, and if the protagonist is not as anti-liked, then nobody's gonna play that. Look at Concord. That was the whole thing about that game, was nobody liked the characters. If Concord was what, if you did a swap of characters from Concord to Marvel Rivals, yeah, I know it was ridiculous, but still, and the game, it was Concord, but with Marvel Rivals models and art. Instant hits. People would be playing the hell out of that. But, I mean, I know the mechanics are a little different too, but still, people would play that because it's more, people like that more than what y'all served up. But anyway, I appreciate you hanging out, showing, listening, like, and subscribe. Hit me in the comments below what you think about Shuhei spilling the beans, spilling the tea, freaking all the cancellation of these games. They running lean over there, boy. All the bad news for PlayStation. PlayStation is dead. I said it. That's the title of this video. PlayStation is dead. It's dead. I'm gonna do a drink. Please, hello, welcome to the PlayStation is dead again. Anyway, appreciate y'all, and I'll check out the next one. Tilt the weight.